Hello, or I should probably say howdy, as today I'm going to show you how to make Texas caviar, a traditional black-eyed pea salad that's full of flavor and fresh vegetables. This dish is a classic Southern recipe that takes advantage of the abundant black-eyed peas found in the South. It's a pretty dish too, bursting with colors from all the different veggies in it. Okay, so let's start with our black-eyed peas, which are a type of bean. As you may know, beans are a good source of protein, are low in fat, and are a great addition to a heart-healthy diet. Here I have black-eyed peas from two 15-ounce cans of reduced sodium black-eyed peas, and I'm going to drain them in this colander in the sink. And then I'm just going to give them a good rinse, as that will get rid of a fair amount of the sodium that's remaining in the beans. So I'll add these to this bowl here. And now I have two green onions that I'm going to slice up. These are called scallions, and they are like a cross between an onion and a garlic when it comes to flavor. Now you can eat both the green and white parts, but this recipe calls for just the green parts, so I'll just thinly slice the green top parts, like so. Next, I need 1 cup of fresh corn, and I'm going to show you how to remove it from the cob. Now, if corn is not in season when you make this, you certainly could use frozen corn or no salt added canned corn that's been drained and rinsed. So to remove the corn from the cob, I have my cutting board on a baking tray with a lip so I can catch any kernels that bounce off the board. Position the cob on its end like so, and just guide your knife down the side to remove the kernels. Repeat on each side until all the corn is off the cob. I need 1 cup of kernels, which you can get from 1 medium cob. We'll just add those in. Next, I've diced up 1 yellow bell pepper that I removed the seeds from into tiny pieces. Of course, you can use any type of bell pepper you'd like. Green, orange, red, they are all sweet and good. Next, I have a 1/2 cup fresh cilantro that I've chopped. Now, cilantro looks a lot like fresh Italian flat leaf parsley, so you know when you go to buy it. I'll add that in. And then here I have 3 jalapeno peppers that I've removed the seeds and white membrane from and then diced into really small pieces. Just be very careful not to touch your face after cutting a hot pepper like a jalapeno, as the oils can really burn. If you like your food a bit milder, you could use 1 or 2 jalapenos instead of 3. I like my Texas caviar to be spicy, so I'm adding all 3 that I've diced up. Now, for my tomatoes, I have 2 cups of fresh tomatoes diced small. But if you don't have access to fresh tomatoes, you could use 1 14.5-ounce can of no salt diced tomatoes instead. Next, I'll add 3 garlic cloves that I've minced. And now I'm going to give that all a good mix. And set aside while I make our dressing. Now, traditional Texas caviar is usually made with an Italian dressing, but we're going to make a delicious lime and cumin vinaigrette instead. I will start with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And next I need both juice from a lime and zest from a lime, which means the grated skin. So I always make sure I zest a lime before I juice it. It's much easier to do in this order. To zest my lime, I just run it across a grater like this. Okay, and that should do it. Now I'll juice the lime with my reamer. If you don't have this type of tool, you could use another type of juice or just a fork. I need 2 tablespoons of lime juice, which is what you usually get out of 1 lime. Next, I'll add 1 teaspoon of cumin. And now I'll whisk it all together. So I have my black-eyed peas and veggie mixture here. And now I'll pour the dressing over everything. And just 2 more ingredients. 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and just a few twists of black pepper. And now it's time to toss it all together until everything is coated with our dressing. And that's it. I like to chill this in the refrigerator for a few hours, but if you don't have the time to make it ahead, you can certainly eat it right after making it. You can serve it just as is, as a side veggie dish, or even pair it with whole grain pita chips and serve like a salsa or dip.